developed at a layer which is located at a distance of y from the neutral axis. What does it mean is, okay, suppose for example, I want to calculate the shear stress at this plane here. Okay, at this layer, I want to calculate the shear stress at this layer. If you want to calculate the shear stress at that layer, okay, then what is the meaning of that one? Shear stress developed at a layer. This is the layer which is located, okay, at a distance of y from neutral axis. That means that layer is located at a distance of y from neutral axis. That is the meaning of that one. Because the shear stress is not constant throughout this plane, that's why it varies. Then immediately, okay, you may get a doubt here, sir, don't call as a just tau is equal to shear stress. Okay, if tau is equal to shear stress, we may get a doubt here, sir, the shear stress is varies throughout the plane. Then where we are going to calculate, immediately we can answer particular layer. That layer is located at what distance? Okay, everything we can mention in the tau. Okay, next one, F is equal to shear force acting on the cross section of the beam here. Yes, it is obtained from SFD. Okay, we discussed about shear force diagrams. Okay, in the shear force and bending moment diagrams, we can calculate the shear stress at various points. Okay, after shear force at various points. After calculating the shear force at various points here, we can take the maximum shear force value. That value is considering as a F here. That value, that is the shear force acting on a cross section of the beam. It is obtained from SFD, maximum shear force. Okay, here the shear force means the maximum shear force in that beam. That value we are going to consider. Okay, next one. Okay, next one, a y bar here. Yes. Okay, yes, this is the very important thing. I think in the engineering mechanics also we learnt about a into y bar. Okay, now in the engineering mechanics we know that moment means it is the product of force into perpendicular distance. It is the product of force into perpendicular distance we are calling as a moment. Okay, but one thing you remember, okay, force into perpendicular distance, that one we are not calling as a moment here. The moments are classified into the three types. Okay, first one, okay, moment of force, that means force multiplied with perpendicular distance. Second one, moment of area multiplied with perpendicular distance. Third one, moment of mass, that means mass multiplied with perpendicular distance here. But here we are considering the area moment here. Okay, moment of area, just we can look at this one. Okay, moment of area. Okay, this is the very important term, moment of area. Okay, moment of area. Okay, a into y bar, simply it is called. Sometimes it is also called as a first moment of area. Sometimes it is also called as a first moment of area. Suppose for example, this y bar multiply with force, then it is called as a moment of force. But okay, frequently we are using the force multiply with perpendicular distance, hence we are calling as a moment. It is strictly speaking force multiply with perpendicular distance, it is called as a moment of force here. And in the same fashion, moment of mass is also there. That means mass multiply with y bar. Okay, mass multiply with y bar is nothing but perpendicular distance, mass multiply with y bar, then it is called as a moment of mass here. That moment of mass again multiply with perpendicular distance, again multiply with perpendicular distance, that is called as a mass moment of inertia. Moment of inertia are two types. One is area moment of inertia, second one is the mass moment of inertia. Okay, moment of mass again multiply with perpendicular distance, then it is called as a moment of mass here. In the same fashion, moment of area again multiply with perpendicular distance, then it is called as a area moment of inertia. Okay, area moment of inertia. Okay, that is a very important in the engineering mechanics. Okay, very important topics, area moment of inertia and mass moment of inertia. Okay, next one. Suppose for example, okay, your plane is a that means your plane is nothing but cross section. Plane means cross section, rectangular, triangular, that is called as a plane here. Okay, that plane okay, it is in a composite section or it is in a simple section. Yes, What is meant by simple sections here? Rectangle, triangle, diamond section, and circular cross section, square cross section. These are all called as a simple cross sections here. And T section, I section, L section, Z section, it is called as a compound sections here. Okay. Suppose, for example, if you want to calculate the AY bar for simple sections, AY bar down A separately and Y bar separately. Suppose, for example, if you want to calculate the AY bar for composite sections here, just we can look at here. AY bar for this is AY bar expression for composite sections here. AY bar expression. Okay, what is that formula? AY bar is equal to A1Y1 bar plus A2Y2 bar plus A3Y3 bar plus and so on. That is depends upon the number of simple sections in that composite section. Yes, I think we are very familiar with this equation in the engineering mechanics. Okay, in the engineering mechanics, we know that to find out the centroid, Y bar is equal to A1Y1 bar plus A2Y2 bar plus A3Y3 bar divided by A1 plus A2 plus A3. Yes, we can take this A to the right side here. That A is nothing but A1 plus A2 plus A3. I think we are very familiar with this equation. Okay. Okay, and also in the engineering mechanics also, this relation, this expression we are calling this is getting from one principle. That principle we are calling as a Varignon's principle. Okay, suppose for example, if it is a simple cross section like a rectangular cross section, we can write down A separately and Y bar separately. But we may get a one doubt, sir, what is meant by the A and what is meant by the Y bar? How to find out A and Y bar? Just we can look at this this figure. Suppose, for example, we are going to calculate the shear stress at this layer. First, please look at that layer. From that layer, from that layer to the outside layer. That means this is the layer where we want to calculate the shear stress here. This is the layer we are calling as a outside layer, outermost layer, not outside here, outermost layer. Okay, in between this layer and this outermost layer, there is some area is there. That area we are calling as a shear area. Okay, shear area, or simply we are calling as a here area of the hatched portion. Okay, area of the hatched portion. This one here, that is called as a for simple sections here. Okay, suppose for example, if we want to calculate the shear stress, on neutral axis. Okay, shear stress on neutral axis, then let us considering this neutral axis and considering the outermost layer. In between these two, we can hatch the portion like this here. Then that is the area. Capital A means that is the area of the hatched portion or shear area. In such a case, suppose for example, the shape is look like a rectangle. The width is equal to B and depth is equal to D. In how to find out this area? B into D by 2. How to find out this area? B into D by 2. Like that we can calculate here. Next one, Y bar. The distance from neutral axis to the centroidal axis of the hatched portion. What does it mean is, suppose for example, we want to calculate the shear stress on this layer. We know that how to hatch this portion here. Y bar means it is the distance from neutral axis to, centroidal axis of that hatched portion. Centroidal axis of that hatched portion. Suppose for example, this distance is 10 centimeters here. This distance, this hatched portion, distance is 10 centimeters. We know that how to locate this one, 5 centimeters. It is located at a distance of 5 centimeters plus this Y bar. Sorry, Y plus this distance here, which gives the Y bar here. Like that, we can find out the Y bar here. We will discuss later also. Rectangular cross section, how to find out Y bar. Next one, square cross section, and next one, circular cross section. We will look at that one here. Next one, I think we are very familiar with this one. Area moment of inertia of entire cross section about the neutral axis. Area moment of inertia. Suppose for example, it is a rectangular cross section, BD cube divided by 12 here. It is a circular cross section, pi by 64 d power 4. It is a triangular cross section. We know that BH cube divided by 36 like this here. Next one, this is the very, very, very important term, B. B is the width of the cross section of the beam where the shear stress is to be determined. Okay, where the shear stress is to be determined. This is the very, very, very important one. Okay, just we can look at this diagram. Yes, we want to calculate the shear stress on this layer. Then, okay, this is the width of that layer. Okay, width of that layer is B. Okay, that means width of the rectangle is the width of that layer here. But if you want to calculate the shear stress at any layer, the width may be constant for a rectangular cross section, width may be constant for a square cross section, but width is not constant for circular cross section. Width is not constant for triangular cross section. Width is not constant for diamond cross section. Width is not constant for I section, T section, L section. These cross sections, width is not constant except rectangular and square. Okay, rectangular and square. So that don't take the width is nothing but okay, total plane here. Where we want to calculate the shear stress, please take that width as a okay B. That is a very important one. Width of the cross section of the beam where the shear stress is to be determined, where we want to calculate the shear stress. Okay, now this is about the terminology we are considering in the okay shear stress expression. Once again, please remember this expression: tau is equal to f a y bar divided by ib. F a y bar divided by ib. Once again, I repeat here, where tau is equal to shear stress developed on a layer which is located at the distance of y from neutral axis, where F is equal to maximum shear force in the beam which is obtained from SFD. Next one, AY bar is equal to moment of area. Suppose it is a simple cross section, A is equal to okay area of the hatched portion, Y bar is equal to it is the distance from neutral axis to central axis of the hatched portion. I is equal to area moment of inertia. B is equal to width of the okay section where the shear stress is to be determined. This one. Okay. Now, generally, this is the small information. We may get a one doubt here, sir. How the shear stress is varies? The bending stress varies linearly. Any cross section, the bending stress varies linearly. How the shear stress is varies here? Very simple. Okay, and we can look at here A and Y bar and B is the variables here. Yes, A and Y bar and B is the variables. Suppose if you want to calculate the shear stress at neutral axis, then A value is different. If the A value is changes, then automatically Y bar is also changes. And B is also changes. Maybe rectangular cross section, it may be constant. What about the triangular cross section? Okay, circular cross section, it may be different here. That's why A, Y bar and B, okay, these are the variables here. These are the variables, but shear force, it is constant. A, Y bar and B. Okay, shear force, it is constant. The shear force is varies from plane to the plane. It is not varies from point to the point over a plane. And I is also constant. For rectangle, about the neutral axis, we know that BD cubed divided by 12. That means F and I are constant. A Y bar divided by, okay, A Y bar divided by B is a variable here. That's why F and I is equal to constant. A Y bar divided by B is a variable here. Okay, what is the unit of area? Meter square. Unit of Y bar meters here. B is a meters, meter get cancelled. That means meter square. What does it mean here? From that unit, we can you can get the one sentence here. Okay, variable power 2. If the if the variable power 2, that means it varies parabolically. That means the shear stress is distributed parabolically. Okay, one thing you have to remember, this is a very beautiful sentence. If any cross section, rectangular cross section, triangular, square, diamond, circular, I section, T section, L section, whatever it may be, the shear stress varies parabolically, whereas in the bending stress varies linearly. This is a very beautiful sentence. We have to remember this. Okay, just from the units we can answer for this question. Okay, how the shear stress varies parabolically. Yes, this is next one. We are going to just previously we discussed about the shear stress expression and terminology. What are the terms, meanings of the terms here? Now we are going to discuss about how the shear stress is distributed over a Okay, cross section of a different cross sections here, over a different cross sections. One thing you remember, this is the very beautiful sentence. Okay, in the first class, okay, I said that, okay, the main intention of the stresses is we want to calculate the maximum stress. In this topic also, we want to calculate the maximum shear stress. We want to calculate the maximum shear stress. But previously, okay, average shear stress is equal to just shear force divided by shear area. Okay, generally we are using that expression, but it is not a maximum shear stress. That is the average. But we are going to calculate the maximum shear stress. That is the very important here. Now I am going to calculate the maximum shear stress on a rectangular section. Yes, rectangular section. Yes. First we can look at here. Let us considering. First we can look at here. Let us consider the one rectangular section like this here. Rectangular section like this. This is the rectangular section with the dimensions width B and depth D. With the dimensions width B and depth D here. I want to calculate the shear stress on a layer which is located at at a distance of y from the neutral axis. If you find out the shear stress at that layer, okay, we can find out at anywhere. So I want to calculate here. Okay, then we know that we can hatch this portion here, which gives the a value, and we know that how to find out the y bar value, and each and every term already we discussed here. Just we can substitute in this expression, we will get the answer. Now please look at here. First I'm going to calculate one by one here. Okay, that one is the f. Okay, f, no need to calculate f here. And area, just we can look at here area. How to find out the area? Area of the hatched portion. The width of that hatched portion is b, and depth is how much? That is the very important here. Depth is how much? Okay, now from neutral axis to outermost layer, how much depth is there? D by 2. The total depth of the rectangle is d. But from neutral layer is nothing but central axis. From neutral layer to the outermost layer is d by 2. And also, okay, here the distance is y. Then how to get this hatched portion? D by 2 minus y. How to get this hatched portion? D by 2 minus y here. So d by 2 minus y is the depth of the hatched portion, and width of the hatched portion is b. Then area is also over. Next one, y bar. Just we can look at this one, how to find out this y bar here. Y bar means from neutral axis to from neutral axis to the central axis of the hatched portion. Okay, we know that from here to here y. Then what is this value? Total depth is d by 2 minus y. D by 2 minus y in that half. That's why d by 2 minus y into half here. Finally, we will get half into d by 2 plus y. Half into d by 2 plus y. Okay, instead of y bar, we can consider as half into d by 2 plus y here. Okay, d by 2 plus y here. Then I is equal to BD cube divided by 12 here. I is equal to, and B is equal to B. Already I told that for any layer, okay, B is equal to width of the rectangle, that is B. Then here BB get cancelled. And next one, 2 1 jar, 2 6 jar. Okay, then BD cube by 6 is there here. BD cube by 6 is there. This expression look like a minus B into a plus b, which is equal to a square minus b square. Finally, 6f divided by bd cube, 6f divided by bd cube, okay, which is the bd cube divided by 6. If you go to the numerator, 6 divided by bd cube, already in the numerator f is there, and this means d by 2 whole square minus y square here. D by 2 whole square minus y square here. This is the general expression. We can use it for, you can use it to calculate the shear stress on a layer which is located at a distance of y of a rectangular cross section. This is only valid for rectangular cross section. This expression is not valid for other cross sections. It is only valid for rectangular cross section. Next one. Yes, from this expression, we can answer how the shear stress varies. Yes, we can answer. Okay, here, what is the variable here? Y is the variable. Okay, F is not a variable. B is not a variable, D is not a variable, the variable is Y. We can look at here, variable power is how much? 2. That's why it varies parabolically. Already I told that how it varies parabolically. From this expression also we can answer it varies parabolically. Okay, please remember, okay, this expression is only valid for rectangular cross section 6f divided by bd cube into d by 2 whole square minus y square. Actually, while preparing the any competitive exam, okay, no need to get this procedure. Okay, no need to learn this procedure. Just we have to remember this expression 6f divided by bd cube into d by 2 whole square minus y square. Okay, yes, we will get here. Next one, shear stress at outermost layers. Shear stress at outermost layers. Yes. How to get the shear stress at outermost layers here? Y is the variable. Then what is the value of the y at the outermost layer? That means y is equal to d by 2. Outermost layer, y value is varies. Y is equal to d by 2 at outermost layer here. Suppose if you want to calculate the shear stress at neutral axis, then what is the value of y here? 0. Then the value of y is equal to 0 here. Value of y is equal to 0. Okay, now just in this expression, the shear stress at the outermost layers, y is equal to plus or minus d by 2. Above, okay, plus d by 2, below minus d by 2, plus or minus. Then we can substitute in this expression, instead of y d by 2 whole square here, then the shear stress at the outermost layer is 0. Then the shear stress at neutral axis, just now we discussed here, the shear stress at neutral axis, then what is the value of the y here? 0. Just we can substitute in this expression 6f divided by bd cube into d by 2 whole square, which is equal to 3f divided by 2bd. Yes. And also, okay, the shear stress at neutral axis also called as a maximum shear stress, because if this value is minimized, then automatically the total expression we will get maximized. Okay, that means okay, the shear stress at neutral axis, or it is also called as a maximum shear stress. Yes, this is the important formula. Maximum shear stress or shear stress at neutral axis, this is equal to 3f divided by 2bd. Okay, 2bd. This is expression to calculate the maximum shear stress. Suppose, for example, if there is a one rectangular cross section, okay, with the dimensions b and d is given, how much shear force acting on that okay, cross section is given. Okay, then we can find out maximum shear stress on that rectangular plane. Don't find out the average shear stress. Suppose if you find out the average shear stress, let us assume that the average shear stress is equal to 100. Okay, the maximum shear stress, it may be 150 megapascals. Suppose we can calculate the average shear stress, we can compare with the strength of the material, shear strength of the material. Shear strength of the material is, suppose for example, the shear strength of the material is 120 megapascals. But how much average shear stress is induced here? 100. The stress is less than the strength of the material or not, then we can say that okay, the member is safe here. But actually, we can find out the average, we can find out the maximum shear stress now. Actually, maximum shear stress is 150 megapascals. Okay, and strength of the material is 120 megapascals. The stress is less, greater than the strength of the material. Actually, it is failure. Okay, already I told that our intention is always to find out the maximum value. Don't find out the remaining values. We can find out the maximum value. Maximum bending stress value, maximum shear stress value, maximum tensile stress, maximum compressive stress here. So that, okay, don't take the average shear stress to compare the strength of the material. Please take the maximum shear stress. That is the formula 3f divided by 2bd. Okay, I think f is given, b is given, d is given. We can substitute. Then after calculating the maximum shear stress, we can compare with the shear strength of the material. This formula only valid for, okay, this formula only valid for rectangular cross section. Okay, for triangular cross section, it may be different here. Okay, this is the one thing. Next one, shear stress is maximum at the neutral axis. Next one, relation between maximum shear stress and average shear stress. Relation between, okay, maximum shear stress and average shear stress here. Average shear stress. Now, tau average is equal to, we know the tau to find out the tau average. just shear force divided by shear area. Already we discussed in the introduction. F and area of the rectangle is BD. Then that means F divided by BD. Okay, average maximum shear stress is 3F divided by 2BD. Just now we discussed this. Then tau max is equal to 3 by 2. F divided by BD can I call as average here? So 3 by 2, okay, tau average, that is equal to 1.5 times of tau average. 1.5. Okay, that means the maximum shear stress is 50% more than the average shear stress. The maximum shear stress is 50% more than the average shear stress here. Average shear stress. Here we may get a one doubt, sir. Okay, we know that to find out the stresses, shear stresses in the beams here. In that also we can find out the maximum shear stress. Okay, we know how to find out the maximum stress for rectangle is 3F divided by 2BD. But what is the importance to establish the relation between tau max and tau average? What is that importance? Why we are going to establish the relation? Means one thing you have to remember. Suppose, for example, the shear stresses due to the shear force is induced in so many components here. Suppose, for example, I think both mechanical and civil engineers both are very familiar with rivets here. Sorry, 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
1 minute.
Yes.
Okay. I think both are familiar with the rivets here. The rivets are failure due to the shear. Yes, the rivets are failure due to the shear. Now, how to find out the shear stress on the rivets here? Just we are using the expression tau is equal to shear force. How much shear force is acting on rivet divided by area of the rivet here. Now, generally we know that the rivets are in a circular cross section. In such a case, what is the area of the circular cross section? Pi by 4 d square, where d is equal to diameter. Like that, we can calculate the shear stress induced in a rivet. But one thing you remember, you can calculate by using that procedure. Okay, shear stresses. It is not a maximum shear stress. It is an average shear stress. Average. It is not a maximum shear stress. It is an average shear stress. Okay, that point you have to remember. Don't compare with that value with the shear strength of the material. That value. Okay, please compare with the maximum shear stress value. But we can't calculate the maximum shear stress for each and every problem in the other subjects like a steel or machine design like that. So in such a case, okay, just rivets are there, beams are there. Beams are also, suppose the beam is in a rectangular cross section. Okay, in such a case, we can find out the shear stresses. Those are the average shear stresses. But we can compare with the maximum shear stress strength of the material. In such a case, very simple. No need to again don't follow this procedure to calculate the maximum shear stress in a rivet here. Just we can establish the relation between tau max and tau average for some standard cross sections. Suppose, for example, we can look at here rectangular cross section is rectangular cross section is 1.5 times of tau average. Suppose we are getting the tau average by using the formula shear force divided by shear area 100 multiply with 1.5, which is equal to 150. That is the tau max. Very simple. Suppose, for example, it is a circular cross section. Yes, we can look at here. Suppose, for example, it is a circular cross section. Now, for a circular cross section also, we establish the relation here. Just we can look at here 1.33 times of tau average. Suppose the rivets are in a circular cross section. We can find out the tau average, that is multiply with 1.33, which gives the tau max value. That value compare with the shear strength of the material. Okay. In such a case, this relation is very important. Just we can remember the relations for standard cross sections like a rectangular, like a circular, like a triangular, like this here, like a diamond cross section, like a square cross section. You have to remember that. Okay, please remember that here. Okay, very good. Next one. Yes. If you want to find out the tau max, how to find out the tau max for rectangle? We establish the shear stress at a distance of y here, 6F divided by BD cube, this relation. 6f divided by bd cube into d by 2 whole square minus y square. This relation we established. Okay, this relation. But sometimes we forgot this relation. We forgot. Okay, in such a case, very easy method. Okay, to find out the shear stress at any layer, no problem. Okay, that is called as an alternative method. Suppose I want to calculate the shear stress at neutral axis. Already I told that it is also called as a maximum shear stress also. Shear stress at neutral axis, it is also called as a maximum shear stress also. Just from the general expression, F A y bar divided by IB. Just by using this expression, we will get the answer. F into what is the area? Area of the hatched portion is B into D by 2. And Y bar, actual total depth is D, half of the depth is D by 2. In that, from neutral axis to the central axis is okay D by 4. Y bar is equal to D by 4 divided by I is equal to BD cube divided by 12 multiply with B here. In we can considering these all terms substitute in the general expression. Finally we will get 3 by 2 f divided by bd. Okay, 3 by 2 f divided by bd. Okay, 3 by 2 f divided by bd here. Okay, very simple. Not only at the neutral axis. Suppose for example, okay, if you want to find out the shear stress on a layer at a distance of d by 4 from the neutral axis, d by 4. In such a case, what is the area? B into d by 4 into y bar is d by 4 plus d by 8. D by 4 plus d by 8 here. And I is constant here, bd cube by 12, and b is also, it is the same for each and every layer in a rectangular cross section. We can substitute. At any layer, we can find out by using that expression. General expression. F A y bar divided by EB. Yes. Finally, we have to remember the some points. First point, shear stress varies parabolically. Okay. Second point, the shear stress is maximum at neutral axis and 0 at the outermost layer. And third one, maximum shear stress is equal to 1.5 times of tau average. That means 50% more than tau average. 50% more than tau average. What does it mean is tau average is equal to 200 megapascals. Then tau max is equal to 300. 200 multiplied with 1.5, which is equal to 300. Okay. Okay. Now we can draw the shear stress distribution diagram. Yes, this is the shear stress distribution diagram. It is maximum at the neutral axis. It varies parabolically. It is 0 at outermost layers here. It is 0 at outermost layers. Okay, it is 0 at outermost layers here. Okay, this is about shear stress distribution on a rectangular cross section. Next one, circular cross section. Next one, circular cross section here. Yes, here also same procedure. Hello? Hello?
Screen is not visible, sir.
Not visible. Now? ఏంటమ్మా అదే మీకేదో ప్రాబ్లం ఉన్నట్టు ఓకేనమ్మా చూడండి ఎస్ నెక్స్ట్ స్టాండర్డ్ క్రాస్ సెక్షన్ ఈజ్ circular cross section. For this circular cross section also, we can find out the shear stress on a layer which is located at a distance of y like this, on a layer which is located at a distance of y like this here. Okay, like this here. And next one, same procedure. We can find out the f and ay bar and I and b. Then we can substitute these all values in this expression. We will get the expression is like this. Actually, I am not going to explain this procedure because okay, finally it is a competitive exam. Okay, just we have to remember that formula. Just we have to remember this formula. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, tau y is equal to, that means shear stress at y is equal to, okay, 4f divided by, okay, 3 pi r power 4 into r square minus y square. Okay, okay, 4f divided by 3 pi r power 4 into r square minus y square. Okay, f means already you know that, and r means area of the circle. R means area, sorry, radius of the circle. R means radius of the circle. Y means it is the distance from neutral axis to the layer where we want to calculate the shear stress. This is the procedure. Okay, this is the derivation to find out that formula. Okay, yeah, 4f divided by 3 pi r power 4 into r square minus y square here. But whereas in the rectangular cross section, 6f divided by bd cube into d by 2 whole square minus y square. Okay, now from this also, okay, y is a variable, the power is 2, so that the shear stress varies parabolically. Okay, from that expression we can calculate the shear stress at any layer for a circular cross section. Okay, the shear stress at the outermost layer. Outermost layer means from neutral axis to the outermost layer, the distance y is equal to r. Yes, just we can substitute 4f divided by 3 pi r power 4 into r square. Y value is r. That means the shear stress is 0. Okay, very simple. Okay, not only in a circular or rectangular cross section, any cross section. Okay, rectangle, sorry, what you call triangular cross section, L section, I section, T section, for any cross section, the shear stress is 0 at outermost layers. Okay, the shear stress is 0 at the outermost layer. Just very simple. The shear stress is 0 at the outermost layers here. Next one, the shear stress at neutral axis, it is also called as a maximum shear stress. We know that the shear stress at neutral axis is okay, at neutral axis, sorry, y is equal to 0 because y starts from neutral axis. Then tau max is equal to 4f divided by 3 pi r power 4 r square minus 0 square. Then 4f divided by 3 pi r square, because r square and r power 4 get cancelled, which is equal to 4f divided by 3 pi r square here. That means the shear stress is maximum at neutral axis. Okay, we have to remember this relation. Next one, relation between tau max and tau average here. Tau average is equal to f divided by a. Then f divided by area of the circular cross section is pi r square. Okay, but we know that tau max is equal to 4f divided by pi r power pi r square. Then 4 by 3 tau average, 4 by 3, which is equal to 1.33 tau average. Okay, 1.33 tau average here. So here very important thing is relation between tau max and tau average. Just relation between tau max and tau average, these are the very important. We know that how to find out the tau average, that is multiply with 1.33, which gives the tau max. Suppose for example in the examination, one circular cross section is given, okay, with a radius is so and so. Okay, with a radius is so and so. In such a case, and also some shear force acting on that circular cross section is given, find out the maximum shear stress. In such a case, no need to follow this formula to calculate the shear stress, because we can't remember each and every formula. Okay, in such a case, tau average is equal to f divided by pi r square. Area is pi r square. Okay, we can find out that value, multiply with 1.33, we will get the tau max. Okay, this relation is very useful to find out the tau average, tau max, and also to establish the relation between tau max and tau average. Okay, yes, and but in the previous rectangular case is, okay, 3 by 2, that is equal to 1.5 tau average here. That is equal to 1.5 tau average here. Next one, okay, triangular cross section. Okay, triangular cross section. Here also we have to remember the some point in a circular. First point, shear stress varies parabolically. Second point, it is 0 at the outermost layer and maximum at neutral axis. Tau max is equal to, okay, that means 1.33 times of tau average. Same, that points here, I did not mention. Okay, I didn't mention here. Okay, same points we have to remember here. Okay, next one, okay, triangular cross section. Triangular cross section here. Next one, triangular cross section. Let us consider the one triangle like this here. Let us considering the one triangle like this here. One triangle first. Next, consider the dimensions width b and height h here. Width b and height h here. And look at the one layer. Okay, look at the one layer which is okay located, which is located at a distance of y from the neutral axis. But previous cases, which is located at a distance of y from the, okay, neutral axis. Now in this case, don't take the y from the neutral axis. Y we can take from the this vertex. Suppose, for example, y value we can take from the neutral axis, then the okay derivation is very complicated. Then to find out the shear stress at a distance of y from the neutral axis, it is very complicated, because okay, we can look at here. If you're considering from here, the shape is look like a trapezoidal shape here. Trapezoidal shape. Okay, this portion is look like a trapezoidal shape here. So to find out the y bar and each and every one for trapezium, it is somewhat difficult here. That's why we can take the y from the vertex. We can take the y from the vertex, not from the neutral axis, but previous two cases y is considering from the okay neutral axis here. Okay, here also this is the derivation. It is not required, just we have to remember the formula. Okay, tau y, that means shear stress okay at a distance of y from the vertex is equal to 12f divided by bh cube, 12f divided by bh cube into hy minus y square, 12f divided by bh cube into hy minus y square here, y square. That means the shear stress varies parabolically because y is there parabolically, and the shear stress okay at a outermost layer is equal to 0 because y value is 0 na, because y, okay, y is considered from the outermost layer, vertex is nothing but outermost layer, at outermost layer y is equal to 0, then this y is also 0, then the total expression is 0, then the tau is equal to 0 here. Okay, next one. Yes, here in the previous two cases we can understand where it is maximum, it is neutral axis, because it is neutral axis, because we can look at here, this is total, this term is constant, this is also constant here, but only variable is there in this portion. Okay, here variable is there, but whereas in this one variable is there, not only the here also variable is there. Suppose actually in the previous two cases, if we minimize this value, then the total value is maximum, then the total value is maximum. But if you minimize this, okay, y value is minimizes, this value here also y is there which is minimizes. That's why we can't answer where it is maximum. Okay, the shear stress where it is maximum we can't answer. So that just from mathematical expression, this is the mathematical, already explained about this one also, to find out the maxima. Okay, condition for maximum shear stress here, condition for maximum shear stress tau max, then differentiate the shear stress expression with respect to y is the variable which is equal to 0, and we can apply the differentiation. The differentiation of that one is h minus 2y which is equal to 0, then y is equal to h by 2. That means what is the meaning of y is equal to h by 2? The shear stress is maximum at a distance of h by 2 from vertex. Y is considered from vertex na? That means the shear stress is maximum at a distance of h by 2 from vertex. We can call as a vertex or base, both are same, because here from here to here is h by 2, then base to the here also h by 2, because the total height is h, because the total height is h. That's why the shear stress is not maximum at neutral axis for triangular cross section. It is maximum at a distance of h by 2. Okay, just we can look at this one. This is the h by 2, this is the neutral axis. Neutral axis different. Okay, so this is the different case. In the previous two cases, the maximum shear stress at a distance, sorry, a maximum shear stress occurs at neutral axis, whereas in this one not like that. Okay, very simple. So the shear stress is maximum at a distance of h by 2 from the vertex or base, both are same. Okay, now we can substitute, instead of y is h by 2, instead of y is h by 2, then 12f divided by bh cube into h by 2 minus h by 2 whole square here, which is equal to 3f divided by bh. Okay, 3f divided by bh here. Suppose, for example, if you want to find out, if you want to find out the shear stress at neutral axis, very simple. Now, what is the distance from the vertex to the neutral axis? Neutral axis is the central axis here. We know that 2h by 3 from vertex and h by 3 from base, but we are considering from the Okay, vertex na, that's why, okay, 2h by 3, just we can substitute instead of y 2h by 3, instead of y 2h by 3 here. If you substitute 2h by 3, then it will get 9f divided by, okay, 3bh, 9f divided by 3bh here, 9f divided by 3bh. But whereas in the maximum is 3f divided by bh here, which is the maximum. From these expressions also we can answer, okay, 3f divided by bh is gets the more value when compared with the 8f divided by 3bh here. And next one, relation between tau max and tau average. This is the very important, this relation. Tau average is equal to f by a here. Tau average is equal to f by a, f by a here. That is equal to f divided by area is equal to half bh. Okay, then 2f divided by bh here. But tau max is equal to 3f divided by bh. Tau max is equal to 3f divided by bh here. Tau max, that is equal to 3 by 2. Okay, just this expression multiply with 2 divided by with 2. Then 3 by 2, 2f divided by bh, 2f divided by bh, which gives the tau average. Then 3 by 2 tau average here. I think rectangular also the same relation, 3 by 2 tau average. Okay, which is equal to 1.5. That means a rectangular and triangular, the relation between the tau max and tau average is same for rectangular and triangle. Tau max is equal to 3 by 2 tau average, that is equal to 1.5 tau average here. That is equal to 1.5 tau average. The maximum shear stress is 50% more than average shear stress here. Okay. Next one, next cross section, diamond cross section, or square cross section with one diagonal is horizontal or one diagonal is horizontal, square cross section tilt making an angle of 45 degrees. Okay, all are same. Okay, diamond cross section here. We can look at the dimensions here. D is the height of the diagonal. Yes, this is the D here, height of the diagonal. This distance is same, height of the diagonal. A is the side of the diagonal here. Okay. Okay, this one here, side of the, not a diagonal here, sorry, side of the diamond cross section, side of the, sorry, here did a mistake here, side of the diamond cross section, height of the diagonal, because this one is horizontal diagonal, this is vertical diagonal, both are same. But this is not a side of the diagonal, it is a side of the diamond cross section A. Okay, then we will establish the relation A is equal to d by root 2. Yes, it is look like a right angle triangle. Then we will get that relation A is equal to d by root 2. Here also same. There is a derivation. Okay, to get the shear stress at distance of y from the neutral axis here. Then tau y is equal to 24f divided by d power 4 into d by 2 y minus 2/3 of y square. Okay, this relation we have to remember. Okay, this procedure is not required here. Okay, whereas in the academic examination this procedure is very important. Here this procedure is not important. In the competitive exam we have to remember this expression 24f divided by d power 4 into d by 2 y minus 2 by 3 y square here, y square. So it is also varies parabolically. Okay, the shear stress is 0 at the outermost layer. That is the, okay, standard point here. Here also find out the shear stress where it is maximum. Same procedure. Okay, d tau divided by dy is equal to 0, tau value 24f divided by d power 4, and applying the differentiation with respect to y here, then we will get this d by 2 minus 4 by 3y, then 4 by 3y is equal to d by 2, then y is equal to 3 by 8d, 3 by 8d. That means the shear stress is maximum at a distance of 3 by 8d from the vertex, or d by 8 from the neutral axis. Just we can look at this expression, sorry, diagram, not expression, diagram. I think diagram is there somewhere. Yes, this is the diagram. Here diagram, the shear stress is maximum at a distance of 3d by 8, 3d by 8 from vertex. This is the vertex here, or outermost layer, or d by 8, because this total distance is d by 2. Total is d, from neutral axis to the outermost layer is d by 2. That's why, okay, 3d by 8 from the vertex here or d by 8 from the neutral axis here. That is the meaning of that sentence. Yes, this is the meaning. This sentence meaning. Next one, 3d by 8. Substitute in the expression. Instead of y, we can substitute this. You can substitute in this one. Finally, 9f divided by 4d square. Tau max is equal to 9f divided by 4d square. Then the shear stress at neutral axis. Neutral axis. At neutral axis, how much value? D by 2. The total length is d. Okay, then y is equal to d by 2. Neutral axis. Just we can substitute in that expression 2f divided by d square at neutral axis. At neutral axis, 2f divided by d square. At neutral axis, 2f divided by d square. Then establish the relation between tau max and tau average. Okay, tau average, we know that how to find out f divided by a. What is the area of the diamond cross section? A square. One thing you have to remember, okay, if the cross section, okay, placed in any inclination, area does not change. Just a square cross section will tilt making an angle of 45 degrees. It is diamond cross section. Then the area of the square and the area of the diamond both are same. Just we can tilt making an angle of 45 degrees. That means f divided by a square. Then f divided by a instead of d, because all expressions are there instead of d. Okay, that's why a is equal to d by root 2. Already we established this relation, f divided by d by root 2 whole square, which is equal to 2f divided by d square. This is the average. But tau max, how much we are getting? 9f divided by 4d square. 9f divided by 4d square. Then, okay, this expression is multiplied with 2 divided by with 2. 9 divided by 4 into 2 is 8. Then 2f divided by d square, which is equal to 9 by 8 tau average. 9 by 8 tau average, 1.125 tau average, that is equal to. Yes. Finally, I conclude. Okay. Finally, I conclude rectangular cross section, tau max is equal to 1.5 tau average. Square cross section also same. Square also same. Tau max is equal to 1.5 times of tau average. Circular cross section 1.33 times of tau average. For rectangular cross section, tau max is equal to 1.5 times of tau average. But okay, diamond cross section, tau max is equal to 1.125 tau average. Okay, 1.125 tau average here. That means 12.5% more than the average shear stress here. More than the average shear stress here. I think, sorry, same paper is repeated. Yes, sorry. Same paper, this one. Next one, that is the relation between tau max and tau average. This is a relation between tau max and tau neutral. Tau max and tau neutral. Okay, then tau neutral and tau average both are same, na? Tau average is how much we are getting here, tau max, 2f divided by, just we can look at this one. Tau neutral is how much here, 2f divided by d square. And tau average also how much here, 2f divided by d square. That means the shear stress at neutral axis or the average shear stress both are same. That's why, okay, tau max is equal to 9 by 8 tau average. That is equal to 9 by 8, okay, tau neutral. That is the meaning of this one. Tau max is equal to 9 by 8, okay, tau neutral. And relation between tau max and tau average is both are equal. Okay, the shear stress at neutral axis, which is equal to average shear stress. Average shear stress here. Now, this is the diagram. Okay, shear stress distribution diagram for a diamond cross section. Shear stress distribution diagram for diamond cross section. Yes, this is the last topic. Shear stress distribution diagrams. Okay, shear stress distribution diagrams. Yes, T. Okay, different cross sections are there here. Very simple to draw the shear stress distribution diagrams for the, okay, previously shear stress distribution diagrams for simple cross sections here. This is the compound sections here, composite sections here. Yes, very simple. Okay, suppose for example, this is the composite section. It can split into the two rectangular cross sections. This is the one simple cross section. This is the another simple cross section. We know that first we have to remember, okay, outermost layer it is 0. That means top and bottommost layer and topmost layer it is 0. Then okay, we can look at here, these all are rectangular cross section, how it varies parabolically. Then at this junction, we can observe here at this junction, okay, suddenly the shear stress value is increases. Why that value is increases here is, okay, what we observed from okay, this flange to the web, actually in the technically it is called as a flange, and it is called as a web here. What happens here, the width of the flange, this one, and this is the width of the web, that width is suddenly decreases, okay, suddenly decreases here, okay, in the web here. If width is suddenly decreases, then the shear stress is suddenly increases, because tau is equal to f a y bar divided by ib. B is there in the denominator, then tau and b are inversely proportional, it is not directly proportional. So that if the b values decreases, then yeah, shear stress values increases. The b values suddenly decreases, then the shear stress value suddenly increases. That is the reason the shear stress is suddenly increases. Suppose this is the shear stress, okay, shear stress at the junction in the flange, but it is the shear stress at the junction in the web, here. Okay, we can look at here, these all cross sections are like that, suddenly width is decreases. Okay, next one, I section. We can look at here, I or channel section or box section like this. Here also, okay, here 0, okay, it varies parabolically, and also it varies okay, suddenly, because we can look at here, width is also, okay, decreases, then shear stress is increases here. Okay, in the same fashion, bottom portion also like this, again it varies parabolically. Again, okay, it varies parabolically here. Now, in the same fashion, okay, here also like this, here also like this. We can draw like this. Sorry, this is the inversion of the first one. Inversion. Okay, that means 0 here, 0 here. The shear stress is varies here. Suddenly decreases in this, because the width is suddenly increases. At the bottom portion, width is more when compared to the top portion. That's why the shear stress is suddenly decreases like this here. Next one, H section or cross, H or cross. Here also same. Okay, here is 0, here is 0, and it varies parabolically. Here also it varies parabolically. We can observe here from this portion to this portion, width is okay, drastically increases here. Then the shear stress is drastically decreases at that junction, and again parabolically. Now we can look at this one also same like this here. Width is decreases. With this decreases here, then the shear stress is also increases here. Okay, this is the shear stress distribution diagrams, okay, for composite sections, and these are the shear stress distribution diagrams for simple sections here. Yes, this is about shear stresses. Any doubts? Hello?
Sir.
You have any doubts? హలో
No, sir.
ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయని అడుగుతున్నాను మీకు.
సార్
ప్లీజ్ ఆన్సర్.
No, sir.
No doubts, Amma?
No, sir.
It is a very useful topic for gate point of view, and also very easy topic. Just we have to remember the okay relation between tau max and tau average. Most of the questions from tau max and tau average relations only. Rectangle is different, triangular is different, circular is different. Okay, next one, diamond cross section is different here. Okay, like that we can find out that it is a very easy topic, and also very useful topic for gate point of view also. This is the shear stresses in the beams. Okay, till now we discussed about 3 topics on the beams. One is the shear force and bending moment diagram, second one is the bending stresses, third one is the shear stresses here. Okay, can I wind up? Cheppali adanna cheppandi.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We will
Thank
meet
you,
on,
sir.
tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the class.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.